Hey, it's Chris. You know what? I realized it's been a little bit since we did a really good iPhone apps video. So today, I'm gonna be featuring some apps that I've talked about recently on APPLEHYPE.com. So if you want more, you know exactly where to go, but I'm gonna leave the timestamps down in the description so you can skip around, but let's get right into it. For years now, I've been either an Instapaper or a Pocket premium paying subscriber. I keep switching off. Right now, I'm back with Instapaper because I like the ability to export all of the highlights from one article at once. But what both of these services have been missing is a way to easily revisit and learn from all of those highlights. So Readwise lets you sync your highlights from all kinds of services like Kindle, iBooks, Instapaper, Pocket, and even Medium, and then it does three things. First, it gives you a daily review, which helps you remember stuff that you've highlighted. Simple concept, but really powerful, and I actually really like that. Second, it gives you an endless scrolling feed of all your highlights, for if you just want to casually browse through them. And then of course, you can do things like edit them, favorite them, or add tags to each of your highlights as well. The last thing that you can do that's pretty cool is that you can search your highlights, you can browse through your different content, which is organized by categories like books or articles, tweets, and then tags. All I can really say is that this feels like a truly brilliant app/service that anybody who takes reading or researching or learning seriously is really gonna love. That's because it's so nice to actually be able to do something with all those highlights, and I got a lot of highlights. If it seems like creating clever photo edits on your phone is getting easier all the time, it's true. And one of the apps that's brand new that's pushing that trend forward is called QuickArt, which literally makes creating clever photo edits as simple as just a couple of taps. Now, QuickArt includes several preloaded effects or filters to choose from, including a dispersion effect, which I think is gonna be really popular, which lets you shatter and disperse any person or object and then tweak how those shattered particles appear. There's also a really interesting double exposure option, which is really cool, and it's the best implementation I've seen for easily letting people quickly create that trendy double exposure look. I studied graphic design in college, and it's been a little bit now, but I'm just amazed all the time at how easy these things that used to take so long to do have become for just regular average people. Oh, you wanna replace the sky in your photo with some crazy cosmic scene? You can do that with a tap now. You wanna wrap yourself in a crazy light swirl? Just a tap away. It's ridiculous. And by ridiculous, I mean ridiculously cool, because I'm enjoying this just as much as anybody. There's a ton of different tools in here. It really would take me quite a while to mention them all, but if you're wanting to create an impression, either on Instagram or maybe for your marketing material, this has all the potential to be one of your all-time favorite apps. Now, QuickArt is free right from the get-go, but there are some pro features that you'll have to pay if you want to unlock. Now, if you're working or studying from home, using a Mac, then you might have realized that that Mac webcam, even on a MacBook Pro, is pretty mediocre at best. That's being kind. 720p resolution. So how do you fix it? You could go out and get a 4K webcam, let's say, from Logitech. I'll link one up down below for you. Or you could just get an app and install it on your Mac, which lets you turn your iPhone into a pro level webcam. Getting set up couldn't be easier. It's just downloading the app on your Mac and your iPhone and then plugging in your iPhone. Yeah, unfortunately, you're still gonna need a cable. It's not wireless yet. And then you just use the app to select which camera you wanna use. So if you want the best available camera that your phone has to offer, you can use the back camera array. Or if you want a preview of your face, then you can use the front-facing camera so you can see what's on the screen. Now, you're probably gonna want some kind of a stand or a dock for your phone so you don't have to hold it for the entire Zoom call. And I'll go ahead and link up a couple of good ones down in the description for you as well. But this is gonna work with almost any app that you're gonna need to interface with, whether that's Zoom or Skype or something from Google, Microsoft, whatever. And that's it, no more 720p garbage. Now you have a professional webcam that you've always had with you, just right in your pocket. And I will say, it does cost $40 if you want to unlock the full version. There's a free version that downgrades the quality and adds an extra watermark in there, which you're probably gonna want to get rid of. But look, you could still save some money with this setup over getting a professional webcam. Now, one thing I've dreamed about for years with the iPhone is the ability to shoot videos with really nice, creamy, blurry bokeh backgrounds. Kinda like I can do when I'm using a nice camera with a really expensive lens. Well, that hasn't really been a possibility. has it. Although the iPhone does have portrait mode for photos with blurry backgrounds that are computationally derived, well, iPhone users can now also mess around with portrait mode video thanks to an app called Focos Live. Just like portrait mode photos, portrait mode video in this app, Focos Live, does struggle with detecting certain edges. Even so, I've learned that if you play around with it, understand how it works, and what kind of subjects and backgrounds it works best on, you can really put this to use in a creative and powerful way that in some cases can end up looking pretty professional. And then there's actually a built-in editor, so once you've shot this footage, you can go in and kind of edit that fake digital blur in the background, sort of like you can on a portrait mode photo. Now, as subscribers know, I've been in the middle of a move for a little bit here, and one of the things that I'm looking into when I get into the new place is the fitness situation. So I've been looking at things like the Peloton bike or the Hydro rowing machine or offerings from Bowflex, and this search has led me to an interesting app called Onyx. Onyx honestly looks like the first fitness app that I'd actually care to use, number one, but also potentially pay for. This app looks simple yet full-featured, and I like that it acts as a digital coach. What I mean by that is that it actually tracks your workouts with a camera, so it knows how many push-ups you've done, or how many squats, how many split jumps, how many high knees, and not only does it count your reps, but it will tell you how to correct your form while also attempting to motivate you. Well, that's the idea anyways. I like that it's not just a repository of exercise videos. It actually uses the camera to track your workouts and help you improve. Sometimes, kind of ironically, it can be kind of tricky to organize your downtime if you're anything like me. And what I mean by that is, I have a whole list of stuff that I want to do, whether that's books to read or even articles to read, movies I might want to watch, maybe some shows to check into, but I don't have a lot of time, and oftentimes I just get distracted, and when there's downtime, I'll just play a video game or something, Badland Brawl. But what if I could be more organized with organizing my downtime? That's where an app like Sofa comes in. So what Sofa does is it lets you create lists of books, of movies, TV shows, podcasts, music albums, video games, basically anything that you could classify as entertainment, let's say, and it lets you organize it in a really nice, structured, and visual way. So it's better than just using a notes app with a bullet point list because it's more interactive. When you put in an album, then you're actually gonna see a cover, and then you can go through and check things off once you've been thoroughly and properly entertained. Another aspect that's kind of cool with this is that you can then see a history of all of these activities. You know, you rely on task managers and to-do stuff for your work life. So doesn't it kind of make sense to have some kind of structure in your personal life, in your downtime? I think so. Let's talk about podcasts. Podcasts are great. You guys may be subscribed to the Daily Tech After Party, and as a podcast producer and listener, I realized that out of maybe an hour's worth of podcast, the great little nuggets of wisdom may only be 30 seconds here or there. And sometimes you don't have time to listen to an hour and a half interview, but you do want to get those little nuggets of wisdom. How do you do that? Well, a great way to do that is with an app called Shuffle. Shuffle's here to help us find the top podcast highlights with a simple swipe. So if you're into tech or startups especially, you're really gonna love the highlights that the Shuffle community has surfaced, to the point where just downloading this app and creating an account, it may feel like a pretty decent life hack. I love curation and filtration, and when somebody selects only the best of something and presents it to me, it saves me time, and that's basically what's happening here. That's why I created AppleHype.com, to save everybody time, to be a filter. Well, this is like AppleHype.com for the podcast world. Whether you're a homeowner or somebody who rents, you have a lot of stuff in your house that you gotta keep track of. I'm talking about things like warranties or receipts, things like measurements, or just keeping track of all the different appliances that you have. And maybe, like every human ever, you've got a junk drawer that has all your stuff just piled in there that you never actually look at. Homer is an app that lets you organize all that stuff as a homeowner and make it really easy to reference and find and keep track of. So this gets even cooler. Let's say I have a product and I take a picture of the data plate. All of a sudden, Homer's gonna pull manuals, instructional video clips, contact information for the company, and lots more. When did I change that air filter again? And when am I supposed to replace it next? I don't know. Oh wait, Homer already knows, and it's gonna remind me. Perfect. So that's something for your house, but now let's switch into houseplant mode. You know, like these right over here, these are the very plants that you guys for a long time have been saying, Chris, those aren't healthy. They don't look good. You're killing them. Well, I've been listening to you guys, and I found myself an app called Jungled, which is gonna help me not kill my plants ever again. How does it work? Well, basically, snap a picture of a plant, and Jungled will help you identify that plant and then provide you with all the information that you need to take care of said plant. Oh, hey, it's time to water that, or that actually needs to be closer to the sun. It's not getting enough vitamin, whatever. All right, we're gonna end this with kind of a different app and kind of on a positive note for everybody because times have been tough, things have been a little bit dark lately. And this next app is called Push of Love, and it exists for one simple reason, to send you push notifications that are motivational or inspiring or funny, just stuff that's gonna improve your day, just serendipitously. As the app description itself says, us over here at Push of Love have come to the conclusion that this world is a horrible, horrible, terrible nightmare of a place. If that's your conclusion too, this might be an app for you. Now, on a more serious note, I think this app is interesting and it could be useful, but if you're interested in exploring some more deep opinions of some of life's biggest questions, then I did make a special podcast episode that you can check out. It's linked up down below. All right, but that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys liked it, enjoyed it. It's been a while, and I really did like this because this is a great batch of apps. Being able to pull from APPLEHYPE.com, I'm not only organizing that for you guys, but it's good for me too, because then I can turn around and say, oh, here's a ton of really awesome apps that I can make a video about. And that's gonna work not only for the iPhone, but for the Apple Watch, for the Mac, for the iPad. So stay tuned. If you're new around here, hit subscribe because you're not gonna wanna miss all the great content that's coming up. Of course, as the move progresses and I actually get into the new space, into the new studio room that was custom built as a studio, there's gonna be lots of content. Tours, for sure. Smart home tech upgrades, absolutely. New setups, so lots to look forward to. Also, if you're new, don't forget, you can check out @DailyTech, spelled Daily TEKK, on Instagram and Twitter. That's a smart thing to do. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. It's the Daily Tech After Party. You can find it in any podcast app of your choice, but that's linked up down below too. Get yourself subscribed to the Clips channel for podcast clips in a visual format, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.